learners, a very warm welcome to this session. Today we will be discussing the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights and Human Trafficking. You know, we have discussed UDHR, you have also discussed civil and political rights, and now it's time to discuss the second covenant, that is economic, social and cultural rights. This talks about the second generation of human rights. Adopted and open for signature, ratification and accession by General Assembly Resolution 2200A of 16 December 1966, entry into force on 3rd January 1976 in accordance with Article 27. So this is very important, this date is for your record purposes. And now we will focus on the preamble, because preamble tells you what are the core principles to be followed in a covenant. Considering that in accordance with the principles proclaimed in the Charter of United Nations, recognizing of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice and peace in the world. Recognizing that these rights derive from the inherent dignity of the human person, recognizing that in accordance with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the ideal of free human beings enjoying freedom from fear and want can only be achieved if conditions are created whereby everyone may enjoy his economic, social and cultural rights as well as his civil and political rights. So the preamble is very important, it talks about, inalienable rights. As we have said that human rights cannot be separated. I cannot give it to you. You cannot take my rights by force, by coercion or by anything, because it is there since my birth and before birth and after death also. So these are very important rights for your inherent dignity. So, in cases of human trafficking, we do not find the reflection of the covenant being addressed by the states for the protection of people who are so vulnerable and their rights are violated. Then, we also talk about freedom from fear and want. But in cases of human trafficking, a person is under constant fear and under depravity. He is abused, he is exploited, and very less chances of running out. So they neither enjoy their civil and political rights, nor they get the benefit to enjoy economic, social and cultural rights. Considering the obligation of states under the Charter of the United Nations to promote universal respect for and observance of human rights and freedom, we are talking in terms of human trafficking. In this, neither we respect each other, neither we observe human rights and freedom. Realizing that the individual having duties to other individuals and to the community to which they belong is under a responsibility to strive for the promotion and observance of rights recognized in the present covenant. Just refer to Article 51A of the Constitution of India. So we have Fundamental Duties chapter. Similarly, this also says that we should do our duties towards others and the community. In cases where, trafficking is done, neither we are doing our duties, nor we are thinking about that person's right. We are just using that person as a commodity, so his human rights, his constitutional rights, his rights under the different covenants and declaration and conventions and the statutes of the common land are violated every step. So now we will discuss the articles. Article 1 says all peoples have the right of self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural developments. Do you think that this Article 1 is available in cases of human trafficking? I cannot take reasoned decisions. I cannot take political, stand. Neither I have a choice to vote, neither to speak up, neither I am being heard. I have been forced to work. My working hours are not fixed. My working conditions are detrimental to my well being. And social and cultural development never happens because I am very far away from my family and living in captivity. All peoples may, for their own end, freely dispose of their natural wealth and resources without prejudice to any obligations arising out of international economic cooperation based upon the principle of mutual benefit and international law. You know, in no case may a people be deprived of its own means of sustenance. We don't get the right of sustenance in cases of human trafficking. They don't sustain themselves, they are forced to work, they have to give the entire amount to a person who is the so called trafficker. Mutual benefit is never, mutual benefit concept is never there in cases of human trafficking. What benefits I am talking in terms of a person who has been exploited, abused, and uh, tortured so much that he or she starts thinking that there is no life. Whatever I have been told, I have to just follow that as a piece of commodity. So, can we think about the natural wealth or the resources being available to these people? No. They don't use the natural resources. They live in captivity. Many a times the dingy rooms are not even, having a cross ventilation where they can breathe properly fresh air. Some of the people who have been trafficked have not seen, fresh air and light for years. So we do not get this right if we are trafficked. Article 2 says every state party to the present covenant undertakes to take steps individually and through international assistance and cooperation, especially economic and technical, to the maximum of its available resources, with a view to achieving progressively the full realization of the rights recognized in present covenant by all appropriate means, including particularly the adoption of legislative measures. This is very important, that you have to take steps as a state, as a welfare state, also you are duty bound to take steps for economic and availability of resources, for all round development of a person, for realization of the rights recognized in these covenants. So, as a welfare state, you have to have some duties. Then only you can say that you are in fifth generation of human rights. This is the second generation of human rights which is not available in cases of persons who are trafficked. The state parties to the present covenant undertake to guarantee that the rights enunciated in the present covenant will be exercised without discrimination of any kind as to race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. A very important thing. We have a provision which talks about non-discrimination under Article 2. We also have Constitution of India. which talks about non-discrimination, Article 15. But still, people who are in trafficking are abused, are, discriminated on various grounds, and they do not get the benefits of Article 2, neither Article 15 of the Constitution of India. Developing countries, with due regard to human rights and their national economy, may determine to what extent they would guarantee the economic rights recognized in the present covenant to non-nationals. Developing country will think about extending this right to non-national. In cases of human trafficking, even the citizens of the country do not get this right. Article 3 says the state parties to the present covenant undertake to ensure the equal rights of men and women to the enjoyment of all economic, social, and cultural rights set forth in the present covenant. It is not applicable in human trafficking cases, as they are very far away from their family members, they live in captivity, they are not being heard, and they are sometimes not even conscious enough to take reasoned decisions. Article 4 says the state parties to the present covenant recognizes that in the enjoyment of those rights provided by the state in conformity with the present covenant, the state may subject such rights only to such limitations as are determined by law only insofar as this may be compatible with the nature of these rights and solely for the purpose of promoting the general welfare in a democratic society. So, as per your means, you have to fulfill these obligations. But in case where we have Constitution of India, we have protection of human rights in India, we have different legislations. Still, if we have a case of human trafficking, then somehow the laws have not been implemented properly and needs a proper intervention from the different stakeholders and the government. The state parties to the present covenant recognizes the right to work, which includes the right of everyone to the opportunity to gain his living by work which he freely chooses or accepts, and will take appropriate steps to safeguard this right. This right to work is not there for people who have been trafficked. I have been abused, I have been, forced, I have been in coercion, somebody has, who is controlling me has sold me. So I do not enjoy my work. Neither I have the opportunity of gain by this work. Neither my dignity rights are protected. So, in cases of human trafficking, Article 6 is violated. The steps to be taken by a state party to the present covenant to achieve the full realization of this right shall include technical and vocational guidance and training programs, policies and techniques to achieve steady economic, social and cultural development and full and productive employment under conditions safeguarding fundamental political and economic freedoms to the individual. This is also not available to people who have been trafficked. We don't see economic growth, social growth, or cultural development and full and productive employment conditions because they live in captivity. They are forced to do that thing out of choice. There is no element of choice, there is an element of fear, coercion, force. So I do not want to work, still I am forced to work in a place because I have been sold by a person and I have been purchased by a person. Article 7 says the state parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to the enjoyment of just and favorable condition of work, which ensures, in particular, remuneration which provides all workers as a minimum with fair wages and equal remuneration for work of equal value without distinction of any kind, in particular, women being guaranteed conditions of work not inferior to those enjoyed by men with equal pay and equal work. So, if I am working as per my capacity, then I should not be differentiated or discriminated that I, being a lady, should be paid less, or if I am a man, then I should be paid more just because I have the tendency that I will be producing more. So these stereotypes mindset should not work in terms of payment. Same is guaranteed under the Constitution of India. Then you should have conditions of work which are favorable. If you do not have conditions of work which are favorable, as in the case of human trafficking, then your productivity will not be high. You will not enjoy your work, so you will not be safe. Your medical needs can increase because of stress and trauma at workplace. Your emotional and psychological needs can also increase during this period when you do not want to work and still you are forced to work. So article 7 is also violated in cases of human trafficking. A decent living for themselves and their families in accordance with the provisions of the present covenant. Safe and healthy working condition. Equal opportunity for everyone to be promoted in his employment to the appropriate higher level, subject to no considerations other than those of seniority and competence. In cases of sexual abuse or exploitation, after having so much of medical ailment or medical needs, when you are suffering from sex transmitted diseases or other diseases, then you are not even fit to work after few years. In cases of working in hazardous employment, where you are inhaling different kinds of gases, you are working in bidi industry where you are a passive smoker, you are sleeping there, you are eating there, you are doing everything in that factory only. So do you think that you will attain a higher level of living? This is violated in cases of human trafficking because we have seen the hands of small children working in jari industries, or in shoe industry, in leather industry, in bidi udyog, in glass factories. So it is not that you are, improving your standard of living, of your mental and physical health. You are suffocating a person, you are exploiting a person, and that person is suffering at the hands of the exploiter. The exploiter or the trafficker is gaining, and the person who is working or has been trafficked or he is a victim of trafficking is suffering because day to day his medical needs are not fulfilled, his physical needs are not fulfilled, even you don't get food to eat. So we don't get balanced diet, nutritious diet, which is a mandate. So in this condition, this article is also violated. Rest, leisure and reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay as well as remuneration for public holidays is a big dream for people who have been trafficked in India or anywhere in the world. Article 9 talks about the state parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to social security, including social insurance. Even in cases of medical intervention, they do not reach hospital and doctors. So do you think that these people will get any kind of social security or social insurance? So When you are not able to work, then you are removed from that place. So, till the trafficker gets benefit out of you, that trafficker will keep you or use you, and the time you have no potential to work, that person will be removed. So, we do not have social security in cases of human trafficking cases. Article 10 says the state parties to the present covenant recognizes that the widest possible protection and assistance should be accorded to the family, which is the natural and fundamental group unit of society, particularly for its establishment, and while it is responsible for the care and education of dependent children. Marriage must be entered into with free consent of the intending spouses. This is a violation in cases of human trafficking for getting children marriage, or marriages done by selling a person or purchasing a person, or in the name of marriage you have to sexually exploit a person. Special protection should be accorded to mothers during reasonable period before and after childbirth. During such period, working mothers should be accorded paid leave or leave with adequate social security benefits. So in India, we have a law, but it is not applicable to the informal sector. The private sector, every lady who conceives is a mother, who gives birth to a child is a mother, and she needs proper care during that period for the child's development and for her well-being. So in cases of human trafficking, they don't get this right. The children who are born are more vulnerable because they can be also targeted and exploited by the traffickers and sold and purchased by the traffickers. So this right is not available to people who have been trafficked and when they conceive. Special measures of protection and assistance should be taken on behalf of all children and young persons without any discrimination for reasons of parentage or other condition. Children and young persons should be protected from economic and social exploitation. We have these labor laws, we have, Right to Education Act, we have Article 21 and 21A. But still children are abused and children are used in trafficking. Their employment and work harmful to their morals or health or dangerous to life or likely to hamper their normal development should be punishable by law. So we have a law in India, but if that law is not implemented properly, then there are cases of children abuse. States should also set age limits below which the paid employment of a child labor should be prohibited and punishable by law. So we have a Child Labor Prohibition Act in India, but if not implemented properly, if awareness is not there, if vulnerability is not minimized, then abuse of child labor laws are seen and people are trafficked. Article 11 talks about the state parties to the present covenant recognizes the right of everyone to adequate standard of living for himself and his family, including adequate food, clothing and housing, and to the continuous improvement of living condition. The state parties will take appropriate steps to ensure the realization of this right, recognizing to this effect the essential importance of international cooperation based on free consent. This right is not available to people who have been trafficked. The state parties to the present covenant recognizes the fundamental rights of everyone to be free from hunger. We have, deaths due to hunger still in India. Shall take individually and through international cooperation the measures including specific programs which are needed. But in reality, we have so many people who are not able to afford two times food, two times meal. We are not talking about the nutritious or the balanced diet. We are talking about the raw food. So they are forced or they are vulnerable to sustain their families. They are vulnerable and then they fall prey in the hands of traffickers. To improve methods of production, conservation, and distribution of food by making full use of technical and scientific knowledge, by disseminating knowledge of the principle of nutrition, and by developing or reforming agrarian system in such a way as to achieve the most efficient development and utilization of natural resources. In terms where you find calamities, natural disasters, if this is not addressed properly, then we find cases where farmers commit suicide. We find cases where families are not able to sustain themselves and they die out of hunger. So this is again violated in cases of human trafficking. Taking into account the problems of both food importing and food exporting countries to ensure an equitable distribution of world food supplies in relation to need. Just to get a yes from you, a trafficker will keep you without food and basic needs for hours. So till you agree to the trafficker, you will not get food. You will not get shelter, neither you will be safe because you will be beaten up, tortured, drugged so that you say yes. So in cases of trafficking, this is also violated. Article 12 says the state parties to the present covenant recognizes the right of everyone to enjoyment of the highest attainable standards of physical and mental health. We cannot talk about physical and mental health in terms of a trafficked person. The steps to be taken by the state parties to the present covenant to achieve the full realization of this right shall include those necessary for the provision for the reduction of the stillbirth rate and of infant mortality and for the healthy development of the child. Lot of children die in India at the age group of 0 to 5 because of malnutrition. Some people have extra resources and they throw the food, and some people try to take the food out of the bin and eat, and some people even do not have access to bins for food. So in cases of human trafficking, Article 12 is violated. The improvement of all aspects of environment and industrial hygiene. We talked about small children. If you see their nails, they are purple nails, their lips are purple. So industrial hygiene, we cannot talk when we talk about a population which is so vulnerable in front of these traffickers. The prevention, treatment and control of epidemic, endemic, occupational and other diseases. So this is very important that the state has to intervene in case of any emergency or in case of any need. The public distribution system, the programs and policies to address any kind of emergency or need should be implemented properly by all the stakeholders. If we take time to have a policy or a program to address these issues, then the vulnerable people are not able to protect themselves from the traffickers. The creation of conditions which would assure to all medical service and medical attention in the event of sickness. People die in, places of servitude, in want of medical facilities, because they are not even numbered. Their existence is also not there because they do not have any ration card, any Aadhaar card, or any notification in the population register. Article 13 says the state parties to the present covenant recognizes the right of everyone to education. We have a Right to Education Act. Then we also have Article 21A. They agree that education shall be directed to the full development of human personality and the sense of its dignity and shall strengthen the respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. They further agree that education shall enable all persons to participate effectively in a free society, promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations and all racial, ethnic, or religious groups, and further the activities of the United Nations for maintenance of peace. This is not available to people who have been trafficked. You cannot have dignity rights for them. You cannot think about, participation in terms of a function, or, there is no tolerance for these people because they have been abused. And there are so many people who are violating these rights because they are so vulnerable. The state parties to the present covenant recognizes that with a view to achieve the full realization of this right, primary education shall be compulsory and available free to all. So we talk about quality education in India. So if that quality education is linked with this article, then we can realize this right in actual. We have seen that in few schools you have to pay 500 or the education is free. In few schools you have to pay 2 to 3 lakhs for 3 months. So this should have a plan by the government that what should be the maximum and minimum fees at a primary education level, at a secondary education level, along with the facilities to be provided at all levels. Secondary education in its different form, including technical and vocational secondary education, shall be made generally available and accessible to all by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free education. We talk about secondary education, we talk about technical and vocational education, but if after PhD people are unemployed, then you have to think about the education system of the country. If unemployment cannot be addressed at a country level, then the education policy needs to be relooked upon. You have to have vocational trainings, you have to have skill-based training so that everybody gets employment and is not vulnerable in the hands of the trafficker. Higher education shall be made equally accessible to all on the basis of capacity and by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free education. So we have to really work on the education system of India and make it effectively. Then, the accessibility should be more, quality has to be ensured, and then, we should have standards of charging fees at all levels along with the facilities to be provided to the children, to the teachers, and to the management. Fundamental education shall be encouraged or intensified as far as possible for those persons who have not received or completed the whole period of their primary education. So fundamental education is very important. It does not mean that you should just know to read and write. From reading and writing we can just start, but fundamental education means a lot. The development of a system of schools at all levels shall be actively pursued. An adequate fellowship system shall be established and the material condition of teaching staff shall be continuously improved. So, technological intervention should be there to enhance the capabilities of the faculty, of the staff, of the people who are working at school. Proper awareness program should be there so that they are also legally educated. Then, sensitivity towards the needs of children should also be addressed at all levels. The state parties to the present covenant undertake to have respect for the liberty of parents and, when applicable, legal guardians to choose for their children schools other than those established by the public authorities, which conforms to such minimum educational standards as may be laid down or approved by the state, and to ensure the religious and moral education of their children in conformity with their own convictions. A very important article not followed in cases of human trafficking. No part of this article shall be construed as so as to interfere with the liberty of individuals and bodies to establish and direct educational institutions, subject always to be the observance of the principles set forth in paragraph 1 of this article, and to the requirement that the education given in such institutions shall conform to such minimum standards as may be laid down by the state. Each state party to the present covenant, which at the time of becoming a party has not been able to secure in its metropolitan territory or other territories under its jurisdiction compulsory primary education free of charge, undertakes within 2 years to work out and adopt a detailed plan of action for the progressive implementation within a reasonable number of years to be fixed in the plan of the principle of compulsory education free of charge for all. So, we have a legislation, we have Article 21A, but that needs to be implemented properly with policy interventions. Article 15 says the state parties to the present covenant recognizes the right to everyone to take part in cultural life, to enjoy the benefits of scientific progress and its application, to benefit from the protection of the moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production on which he is an author. The steps to be taken by the state parties to the present covenant to achieve the full realization of this right shall include those necessary for the conservation, the development, and the diffusion of science and culture. This is also not available to a trafficked person. The state parties to the present covenant undertake to respect the freedom of indispensable for scientific research and creative activity. The state parties to the present covenant recognize the benefit to be derived from the engagement and development of international contacts and cooperation in the scientific and cultural field. This is also not available to people who have been trafficked. Article 17 says the state parties to the present covenant shall furnish their report in stages in accordance with the program to be established by the Economic and Social Council within 1 year of the entry into force of the present covenant, after consultation with the state parties and the specialized agencies concerned. Reports may indicate factors and difficulties affecting the degree of fulfillment of obligations under the present covenant. So, India is a party to it and we have signed it long back. So, it's time to implement the laws related to people's right and to protect the people who have been trafficked so that their rights are not violated. Pursuant to its responsibilities under the Charter of United Nations in the field of human rights and fundamental freedoms, the Economic and Social Council may make arrangement with the specialized agencies in respect of their reporting to it on the progress made in achieving observance of the provisions of the present covenant. Failing within the scope of their activities, these reports may include particulars of decisions and recommendations on such implementation adopted by the competent organs. A very important article. The Economic and Social Council may subject from time to time to the General Assembly reports with recommendations of a general nature and a summary of the information received from the state parties to the present covenant and the specialized agencies on the measures taken and the progress made in achieving general observance of the rights recognized in the present covenant. And Article 29 deals with the amendment. In the end, I will just say that we have so many laws. We are a party to these covenants. We have a Protection of Human Rights Act, but we lack awareness and implementation. So awareness should be there for all. We should not deprive a person because that person is vulnerable, and we should be diligent enough to choose between right and wrong and do our fundamental duties. Then we will be able to get these rights, and somebody else will also enjoy these rights. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Stay blessed.